Hello, so I just wanted to do a video, a very very quick video, showing off my new UF8 key map preset that I've done for this controller and Cubase. If I take it through in sections, I'll just very quickly show what I've done. Maybe some people get some ideas. I might try and upload this once I've finished it to the Steinberg forum or something. We'll see. So if I start by just showing with the layer buttons here, 1, 2, and 3, it's quite simple. We've got our door layer. We've got a plugin layer on number 2. I use the channel strips and the bus compressor quite often. And obviously if you use the link plugin, you can use that as well. Number 3 is the MIDI CC layer. And what I'm using this for, what I did use this for, was a mod wheel on this one, but I haven't set that up yet on this particular map. But I'm using these rotary encoders, the V pots, I think they call them, via the MIDI remote, as you can see, for the focus quick controls. But I've also doubled up the push function to do exactly the same thing, and that has a benefit of being able to here's a LA2A, for example. So under the quick controls, I've got this mapped, and once you've mapped them, they stay like that. So this one will be the gain, and this one will be the peak reduction for me. And if you want to change between limit and comp, you turn this one. But because I've got the push function enabled, I can just press it like a button, you know. So gives you more tactile feedback, as it were. Moving on, quick controls 1, 2, and 3. We've got our solo defeat, so that will unsolo everything. If you've got any mutes, then you can hold shift and press the solo defeat and it will mute defeat, I guess. 2 and 3 are my clever little key maps. So page up and page down change the lower zone from plugins to sends to faders, and also option command up and down on the arrow does the same thing. But if you're in any other part of Cubase, those keys don't work. And I found that if you map a key to show and hide the lower zone, when you show the lower zone, it automatically selects it at the same time, which then allows you to use the page keys. So if you use a little bit of latency on a couple of the key presses, you can create a macro that lets you go up and down these pages at the bottom there, which is very useful. And I'm a bit of a clever clocks. So we move on to the soft keys section, where we all know we've got the V-pot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they are banks of buttons up here at the top. This V-pot one is default. I haven't changed that. I don't want to lose any core functionality. Number 1 is where I'm going to start adding tracks in. So I can just press a button and have it add a stereo track that is named GTR, short for guitar, or I can add on the next button just a mono track audio. That's very handy. The 2 blue buttons here, one is if I select multiple tracks, I can just add them to a folder, or the next one, I can just add them to a group, and I just name the group, enter. The yellow ones are show and hide automation on a project basis, so all of the automation. The next ones over here in the white are the link and unlink, and I am using the same show hide trick for that, so that I can be anywhere in the project and select multiple tracks and just press the link button and it will link them. Now there is a bug in Cubase where you can't see the link graphic until you change the GUI, as it were. Hopefully that'll get fixed. But I can be anywhere in the project. I don't necessarily have to have the lower zone selected at all. I can just be over here, do some business, and I can just unlink and link to my heart's content. Moving on, next soft key. So this is where we start adding in plugins to specific slots. That goes for 2 and 3. So I've decided that all of my channel strips are going to be on channel 3, insert 3. As you can see in the green, these are all my channel strips. Insert 1 is always going to have my smart EQ, which will be my primary EQs, kind of a mix between Pro Q and, I don't know, some kind of AI business. I've got the SSL link plugin. I've got 3 compressors there in pink. I've got delays in orange, Soothe 2, and a bus comp. So if I pick a track with nothing on it, I can go to, say, let's put that on insert 1, and I can pick my flavor of channel strip. As you can see, I've got a 4KE, I've got a Neve 80, API 50, an AMEC 990. I can switch between any of them. I can add in my, I don't know, put a DBX compressor in there, and maybe I want an echo delay. And these are all going to predefined slots on the inserts, and those colors correspond to colors over here and numbers. So number 1, I can open insert number 1, number 2. Green is always going to be my channel strip. So let's say I want to change my channel strip to a Neve. Number 3, that'll open that up, and then the channel button here will close down those inserts. So opening and closing. Those just hide all VSTs. And, you know, I could, for example, then go over here to my quick controls, and I don't know if I've got this one set up. Have I got it set up? Probably not. Right. So that one's not set yet. Whoops. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing with the plugins, is kind of naming numbers and colors. The next button here, number 4, I've got FX tracks. So I've been having problems with this. I will need to fix it. But that's adding in a flex verb. That's adding in a lexicon, another lexicon, soft tube, wasted space, pure verb. And you'll notice as I add them in, I've got previous ones in here, which is why I've got duplicates now, which is probably going to mess this up. But they're all prefixed with FX 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And what that allows me to do is set a key up here on the next button to say FX number 4, FX number 3, 2, 6, 7. I want you to send to those FX. So you can have any plugin in on the project. If you just prefix it with FX number, then you can quite easily just send to it using these keys. So, and then I would then from there go to FX sends in VPOT and then press flip, and then I can control the send levels using my faders, or if I didn't want to flip, I could use the rotary encoders like that. So that leaves well, I guess over here is quite cool. I found out that actually if you hold that down, the transport control comes up. These buttons down here are unchanged for the banking. Obviously you've got the nav mode, focus and all of that stuff. Like I say, these are open inserts if there is anything on the insert. So, and channel button will close them. The plugin button is default. The page button is default. Flip button is default. Down here in automation, rather than, for example, having this track selected on the screen here, but we don't have auto banking on the UF8, so I need to find the track. There's the track, and then press the corresponding VPOT to get the monitor to activate. But I thought, sod that, I'll just add a button down here, so I can be over here. It doesn't matter. I can still, as long as it's selected on the screen, I can just monitor it. Read and write is the same as you'd expect, and I think there is a global function where you can turn off all reads and all writes by holding the shift key. Down here, lastly, the 3 buttons down here are, if I open up a plugin, let's say I go over here to another. Now if I try and open this plugin, it's worked, it's fine. If I do a click in between, I think it's kind of okay. So we can open multiple plugins there, and I can. So this middle one here is hiding. That's hiding, not closing. It's just hiding the plugin, and the touch button here is cycling through plugins. So if, I don't know, I open this one up, this one, this one, this one, we can cycle through all these plugins. I can hide them all, show them all, cycle through them, or just close them all down with this trim button down here. And that is the very basics of where I'm up to. I think we're getting somewhere. Hopefully somebody will get some ideas. Thanks for watching.